Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Haley Renee, where I actually sit and answer a question that someone from the viewing audience has sent in. So I do have our question for today. And we're going to be talking about, I kind of titled this Five Things to Avoid When Making a Change. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We do have a sponsor for today. We actually have two, and we will make sure that we definitely introduce our sponsors for today. But before we get started, let's do a little housekeeping. If you are just joining, please make sure that you are ensuring that if you're on Facebook, that you allow StreamYard to know that you're there so that I can see your comments pop up. Okay. If not, then I always get back to them. And make sure that you share this video with someone else. And if you're over on YouTube, please make sure that you are also doing the same thing, sharing this with someone else. All right. And if you are not subscribed on my YouTube channel, where you get this and other information, other videos rather, please make sure you go on over there, subscribe to me, all right? And hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of new content that I put out every week, all right? So let's get into today's question. I have it right here in my hot little hands, okay? And good evening to everyone. All right, it says, hey, Alenia Renee, okay? I have decided that I want, and this is from Sylvia, okay? I have decided that I want to own my own business. Or should I say, I am ready to take what I love to do and make a full time business. But I need some advice to know when to get started. Okay, so Sylvia, that's where I came up with these five things that you need to, avoid. I would say things that you need to avoid doing when you're making a change. So this is a huge change, wanting to go and I take it that Sylvia, you probably work a full 9 to 5. All right. And if that is what is going on, now you have made a conscious decision that, you want to go into business for yourself. So the first rule that I want to give you is, don't wait. Don't wait to do it. There's never a right time. I'm going to be perfectly honest. There's never a right time to get started. Okay, and but you have to know what your start is. Okay, so it may not be that you go into business full time, right? It may be something that you do few hours each day, and you're bringing in that additional income on the weekends. You're scheduling time to do, okay? So, but you'll never feel ready. It will never feel like the right time. It will. It. We all have that, okay? No matter what we do with something new, with making any change, um, just understand and know it's never going to feel like the right time. But if it comes to you, right, it's something that you have thought on and now you feel it in your bones that this is what you should do, then start acting upon it, okay? But be realistic in how you act upon it, okay? You jumping right in and just quitting your job and doing this, Sylvia, would not be, I would say, would not be using wisdom. You want to use wisdom. So doing it as a part time means that you're doing it, okay? But you need to get started. So get started doing it. So that's number one. Don't wait to feel ready. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Don't wait to feel ready. So the next thing that I would say, the second thing is, don't talk about it, be about it. So many times I have one of my sister girls. She always says that I'm gangster because gangsters move in silence. I'm a firm believer that you can talk about it, but you're becoming more educated and more knowledgeable about what it is that you are about, what you're about to do, or you're going to do, or you're already, and you're gaining the knowledge that you need. But you don't have to tell everybody. Just do, because everyone isn't going to understand or know your vision. And that's to be perfectly honest. So I'm going to say, don't just talk about it, do. Okay. Get out there and do. Keep yourself educated in in what it is that you want to do and where you want to go. All right, so let's go ahead. I want to make sure that I get into our first sponsor for this evening, and as you can see, I'm reading it off my phone. Expressions Mentoring and Consulting has a new home. Join them for their open house Saturday, August the 21st at 3 p.m. You will be able to register for classes, join a team of mentors, purchase products, and learn about their services. You must RSVP at Xpressions MC. So that's XPRESSIONSMC at gmail.com. And that is Saturday, August 21st, 2021 from 3 to 5. All of the information in regards to this open house will be in the link below. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to the question. So, number one is don't wait to feel ready. Number two is, don't talk about it, be about it, right? And the third thing, whenever you're making any kind of change, I strongly would advise you not to walk around like you're a know it all. That's one of the things that I will say in my HR career that I saw that hindered even the largest companies that I worked for were those in management that were know-it-alls. They knew everything and they weren't listening to anything. Okay, and you have to be a student at all times. So I know I talked about don't just talk about it, do. And while you are doing, of course, you're educating yourself. That's where that all comes in. That's that third thing. So you need to gain the knowledge that you need to know what to do in whatever profession or whatever product that you're trying to create or whatever service that you're trying to render. So you always want to continuously be a student. I know I learned every day from my team, and I have a very diverse team that works with me. And the only way that we can do and grow and gain, especially myself, is by listening to what other people have to say. And I am not the end all be all, and I surround myself, okay? Um, with knowledgeable people. That takes me into number four. Okay. So, number one is don't wait to feel ready, right? Okay. Um, don't talk about it, be about it, right? As number two. And number three is don't be a know it all, right? Always be a student to learn. Number four is you can't do it alone. So, although Sylvia, you're trying to create a new business, if you have a family, you can't do it alone. Your family needs to really know what you're doing. Um, they may not understand, but they need to know. So that means that if you're coming home after dinner, after you sit down with the family, and then you need 2 hours after the children settle down, I don't know your family dynamics, but if that's the case, because most of the time, anyone that's single, they don't ask questions, they do, right? But I'm presuming that Sylvia probably does have a family and she needs to educate her family on what it is that she is doing. So you need to have that balance and you need to have people, the people around you understand that you need those 2 hours or you need that 1 hour to work on the business and honor your time, right? Because you're going to be taking time away from your family. So you want to make sure that you are honoring your time as well. So, it, if you go and the family understands that you need 2 hours to work on something, use those 2 hours and then stop. Okay. Also, with not doing it alone and telling your family is surrounding yourself with other people, like-minded people. That is so critical. It doesn't matter what industry you are in, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are in ministry, whether you work, for a large scale company, it doesn't matter, what profession you are in. You should always try to surround yourself with like-minded people and people that can support you, that can cheer you on, that can help you when you get a brain fog. I actually started being part of a group called Church Girl CEO, and shout out to any Church Girl CEO member that is watching this podcast. But I enjoyed having those times where we come together, and of course it's also on a spiritual aspect. So business women praying, that right there is a beast upon itself that we're coming out with. But also being able to see that someone is doing something and being able to reach out to them and ask those questions, right? And to have them support you and give you, hey, girlfriend, you're doing a good job, and things like that. So that's very important. So making sure that you are not, that you don't try to do it alone. Don't try to do it alone. You need, your family be on board, and you need to surround yourself with supportive, knowledgeable people. All right. So that's number four. And then the last thing, and before I get into the last thing, I know that you see the t-shirt. This is a your hashtag your big sister t-shirt saying no is okay from the Slow No Strategy. Books are still on sale. You can get it at the link that will be in the description box. And also go to the merchandise. Oh my gracious. Y'all check out the water bottle. Yes, I know y'all probably have seen it, but the water bottle, oh my gracious, this thing keeps your water cold all day long. I was just like, yes. So I'm really excited about that. So check out the merchandise. Link is in the description box as well. All right. So let's get to number five. Number five. Okay. So this fifth, suggestion that I want to give in order for you to, something that you need to avoid when you're making a change. One thing that you need to do is um, stop comparing yourself to others and ensure that you're celebrating your small wins. That's one of the hugest mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes at the start of my business, but that was one that I didn't avoid, and it set me back a lot. It set me back emotionally, it set me back mentally, and it really shifted my behavior. And it wasn't a good thing because by comparing myself to what other people were doing, I wasn't giving myself the opportunity to learn and to grow, to do those other things that I had just said to avoid doing. Avoid just talking about it and being about it and making sure that I'm, hey, not acting like an expert, right? And if you're not an expert, then that means that you're gleaning from other people. I call it glean and lean, right? And that was one thing that I will say that I wasn't doing, is I was measuring myself up to people that have been in the industry for a while and that weren't even doing what I was doing. And I was looking at numbers. I did an interview on last Tuesday, I'm sorry, last Tuesday with access granted, the pod stream, with Antoine Grant and Lakia McDaniel. And one of the things that we discussed was vanity metrics. And I shared with them I did. I shared with them how initially I was full of looking at those numbers, looking at how many people are subscribed, how many people are viewing, and that was not the thing that I should have been doing. So I want to encourage everyone that is watching this. So check out that podcast as well. I mean, you can get that on YouTube, and I will also link that podcast down in the description box below as well. But understanding that you have your own journey, and the great thing about a journey is it's like a field. You can go left, you can go right, you can go straight, you can go southeast, southwest, northwest, northeast, right? You can go in all different directions to get to the destination that you're supposed to be at. What you think is supposed to occur may not be the way that you're supposed to journey through your process. So, Sylvia, um, I suggest to you that you take these 5 things and be very mindful of those things as you go through your process of learning your business and starting your business. So, to just let everyone know, those were the 5 things that I suggest that you avoid when making a change. Okay, these are the things that I think that you should, avoid. And number one was, stop waiting. Avoid just waiting to be ready to start something. Do it, okay? Because you're never going to be ready. It's never a perfect time. I'm sure you have heard that. So I suggest that's number one. Number two is don't talk about it, be about it, do it, right? Learn, grow, get that education, get all the knowledge that you can, and you keep learning. Because number three is don't be an expert. Don't try to think you're a know it all, right? Don't try to be a know it all about this. Always be a student to learn your craft, learn what you want to do. Okay. Number four, you don't want to do this on your own. You want to make sure that you have people in your circle that are supportive, that you're part of groups in other organizations that will help you to grow in the field that you are looking to be in. And number five, you know don't measure yourself to other people. Okay, don't compare yourself to other people. Ensure that you're celebrating even your small wins, because those small wins become medium wins become large wins impact millions. Okay, and thousands and millions. I mean, and I can only vouch for that, because once I start putting these things in perspective, it just the lay of the land just started really being paved for me the way that it was supposed to be paved for me. I know that I'm still growing. Know that I'm still learning. Sylvia, I hope that this has answered your questions. Sylvia wanted to know this because she wants to go ahead and start her business. So I'm encouraging her to do it. All right. I hope that you have gotten something from this. If you're out there, if you see this on the replay, please make sure that you hit hashtag replay. And all right, everyone, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.